This is not what's up, my dudes. Eli Tomac has ruptured his Achilles tendon. And let me just tell you the truth right now. I know some of you boys don't want to hear it. I know nobody wants to hear this. But sometimes I have to be the bearer of bad news. I promise you, that is the last time you will ever see Tomac in a pro supercross race or motocross race. That's the last time. That's it. Tomac is done. With that kind of injury, there's not even a question about it in my mind. I've seen a lot of you guys talking on Twitter about, could this be the last time we see Tomac? Could Tomac retire? Do we think he's going to retire? No, listen. He is definitely going to retire from this injury. It's not a question. It's not a maybe. It's not a no. And trust me, I'm just as much of a Tomac fan as anybody else is. This has struck me somewhere that I can't remember the last time I felt this way about a rider's injury. I felt bad when Webb had his weird Cianciarulo running into the back of his head concussion, but something about this Tomac injury just feels like it's 10 times worse to me. It's like the motocross gods have struck down, and it just, oh man, I've been sick to my stomach ever since I saw it. I still feel sick to my stomach. I can't even imagine what Tomac's going through. It's not even about the championship. It's not about any of that kind of shit. It's about way bigger things than that to me. It's about we're never going to see Tomac back out there again. That was the last time. Is he even going to be able to live a normal life after this? I don't know. I know the Achilles tendon, it wasn't just a tear. It wasn't just, he ruptured it, dog. He ruptured it. This is one of those kind of injuries that, even if it was at the start of somebody's 450 career, it still would have been questionable whether Tomac would ever have been coming back from it. But now, the fact that he had this kind of an injury when he was already on his way out the door, it was already questionable whether or not he was even going to race this year. I promise you, it is over. It is done. That is all we will ever see out of Tomac as far as pro racing. Now, yes, he may throw his leg back over a bike again to just go out there and ride again or have fun again riding or something at a local track. I'm not going to say he'll never do that again, but as far as pro, AMA level pro racing, you will never see him out there again, bro. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think, but I don't think there's any question about it. I don't even think it's really up for debate. I just think a lot of people, feel so bad for Tomac and don't want this to be the end, that they want to try to leave that possibility open in their mind, but I just think you're setting yourself up for more disappointment, man. That's all I think you're really doing by thinking Tomac's going to come back from this. It's even if he tried to come back, even trying to get back to the same level that he was is going to be damn near impossible. And I just can't see him doing that with already being basically on his way out, ready to retire. I just can't see him doing that under any circumstances. He's already proved everything he's needed to prove. He's won Supercross championships, motocross championships. He's the winningest rider at Daytona. He ain't got nothing else to prove. He's done it on the Star Yamaha. What else is there to prove? It's there's not even really a reason for him to come back. This is totally different than Villopoto's really bad injury at the start of his 450 career. He had a point to prove coming back. Kind of the same way with Roczen, too. He did that and then wanted to come back and prove that he could still win. But, Tomac's already done it. He's already done it. So, to me, it just seems like there's no reason for him to come back even. And I just know that's going to be so much therapy, and so he has to get surgery on it. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this is one of the most, if not the most bizarre, funky injuries that I have ever seen in Supercross and Motocross ever before. So Tomac was out front. I don't even know what lap it was, like lap 2 or 3 or something like that. He didn't even crash off of the bike. He just barely overjumped, like a little tabletop jump in the rhythm, barely overjumped that, and then came down on that side. I know there's a lot of people thinking that he just had his foot in the wrong place on the foot peg. I don't really believe that. I just don't. Otherwise, you would see ruptured Achilles way more often in Supercross, like all those times dudes have just come up completely short on a, 75-foot Supercross triple. This wasn't even close to that kind of an impact. This wasn't even close. This was just like a small little over jump, under jump, whatever you want to call it, on a rhythm section jump that's not even really jumping you up that high in the air. He just barely kind of jumped more like into the middle of the transition instead of going down the actual backside of that tabletop of that rhythm section. And I just think that right there, part of me thinks that it had to have been some sort of something was already going on with his leg or his foot or his ankle or something, or his Achilles tendon that he either knew about or didn't know about. That or some sort of boot malfunction or the combination of the two. I'm having a real hard time wrapping my head around that just happened to a perfectly healthy 30-year-old motocross rider on a jump of that size. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around it. Like, the chances of something like that happening just from having your foot in the wrong placement on the foot peg is like 0.1% chance of happening. Like, I just don't believe that. I've seen some people on Twitter talking about, man, that's crazy, just having your foot, 1 inch, on the wrong placement on the foot peg. Bro, no, it's not just that. It is not just that. This is like a freak accident combined with potentially a boot malfunction combined with Tomac may have already had some sort of injury going on there that he didn't really tell us about because it was getting so late in the championship. I think there's more to this story than meets the eye, is what I think. Of course, we'll probably hear more information on that in the future. We haven't really heard anything yet out of Tomac. We just heard the stuff from Star Yamaha and stuff like that. But other than that, we don't know anything. But yeah, that was catastrophic, bro. That was more than just a normal motocross, supercross kind of injury. That was a change your whole life kind of injury right there. Very reminiscent to Roczen's bad arm injury. It's that caliber of bad, bro. I'm telling you, that is the main tendon in your entire foot. I'm pretty sure it was his left side too, which is your shifting side. Whoo, doggies. Oh, boys. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about this. This is just so crazy. I know some people were talking about it looked like the bottom buckle on his boot was loose or something like that, but that was kind of after he made the mistake. I know a lot of people were talking about they thought the injury came from after he came up short on that second jump landing of the rhythm. I think it happened at the very start, like when he jumped into the rhythm and then landed on the backside of that tabletop transition and jumped up out of it. You could see it right then. And even Carmichael talked about that on the broadcast. I don't think it was that second landing that did it. I think it was that first landing of the rhythm section, that sort of going down and up out of that transition jolt that always causes when you jump down in a transition like that. I think that's what caused the initial injury, but then he just still had the momentum and then didn't realize in time and then came up short on that second jump of the rhythm and then totally slowed down and pulled off. But this right here, I just feel like this sent a shockwave through the entire Supercross, motocross community. This is terrible. I mean, this is as bad as it gets. This is going to put a forever stain on Tomac's legacy. This just sucks in every way that you can possibly imagine it. I don't think we're seeing... I mean, I'm like already in my head, I'm like, Tomac is fully retiring after this. There is zero chance of him coming back. I think that is wishful thinking to think that he is going to come back after an injury like this at the time of his career. I just don't think it's going to happen, man. I really do not think this is going to happen at all. This just makes me not even want to get back on a real-life dirt bike. This is terrible. It really makes you start to come to that realization, like if you really want to be a pro Supercross rider, at some point in your career, you're going to have to go through an injury of that kind of caliber. It seems like every single one of these riders goes through at least one of those major life-altering, body-altering, forever-changing injuries. You know, Roczen's been through it, Cianciarulo's been through it, now Tomac's going through it. It just seems like every single one of them has to go through it. So if you're really trying to push to be a pro Supercross rider, you're going to have to sit down and weigh out those options, man. Is it really worth a ruptured Achilles tendon? Is it really worth mangling up your arm to the level where it damn near has to be amputated? I mean, it's just like, bro, I just don't know how this shit's worth it anymore. I really don't. I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons I've slowed down riding. It's the most fun thing you could ever do. And going to the local track is awesome. Going and riding, racing local, that's awesome. But I'm saying to that level of like the pro Supercross dudes, you just have to sacrifice so much. So much. And I feel like a lot of these people, a lot of these amateur kids, they've not even fully realized that. They've not even fully realized what it takes, what it truly takes to be that guy. So all I'm saying is just weigh it out, bro. Before you go put all that work in, you need to sit down and think about that. Could I actually go through a ruptured Achilles tendon? Could I actually go through a broken femur? Could I actually go through, all these different injuries? It's something to think about, guys. It seems all fun and games, but it just seems like for whatever reason, Supercross and pro dirt bike racing, it's not a matter of if you're going to get terribly injured. It's a matter of when. And Tomac just basically proved that. He didn't even wreck off of the bike, guys. This is like not even making that big of a mistake. He just barely messed up that rhythm section jump. And I don't know what caused it. I still can't figure it out. I don't think anybody knows except Tomac and his team. I don't know what caused it. I don't know if there was something going on beforehand that we didn't know about, and then it just basically fully, like maybe he had a partial tear in the Achilles, then it fully ruptured it. I have no idea. Or a boot malfunction. It's hard to believe that. I know the Alpinestars Tech 10s are really good about protecting that particular area. I don't know what exactly it was, but I'm just telling you that is it is possible that he didn't have anything wrong, and that was just a freak accident, a freak way that he landed a certain way, but I don't think Tomac did anything wrong, really, at all. You know what I'm saying? As far as bro, that's just every once in a while, you're going to overjump a rhythm section jump by a foot. That just happens. That's just part of Supercross. I don't even think Tomac really made a mistake here. So just imagine you can have a ruptured Achilles from not even really making a mistake. All y'all boys acting like Tomac made a big mistake or he had his foot in the wrong place at the wrong time. You need to shut your ass up. No, he did not. No, he did not. And if it was that easy to rupture your Achilles from just barely having your foot in the wrong place, then you'd have ruptured Achilles all over the place. I've never even heard of one once in Supercross. So you best not be blaming Tomac at all, because I don't think it had anything to do with that. I just don't. I don't think it was Tomac's fault at all. I really don't. So I don't know, man. I think Tomac's totally done. I guess we're going to hear some more information coming out soon, but man, just imagine. Oh my gosh. I just don't even have any words. This is just goes to show you. Anything, and I mean anything, can happen in Supercross. Everybody wants to, act like all these different riders are set in stone on what they're going to do, whether it's, Chase Sexton or Hayden Deegan or whoever it is. Well, there ain't a damn thing guaranteed in this sport, and we always have to remember that. We always have to remember that. So this is going to put Chase Sexton to winning the championship now, the third place guy. This is insane. I don't think I've ever seen that before, where the first and second place guy gets knocked out. This is just one of those crazy years where it seems like absolutely everybody is getting injured. I would be absolutely on my toes right now if I was in that 450 Supercross class, because it's happening to everybody. Barcia, Tomac, Webb, Ferrandis, Plessinger, Anderson. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. Some more. It seems like motocross and Supercross is like that, bro. It's just some of those years, everybody crashes out, gets in. Tomac didn't even crash. Dude didn't even crash. I mean, what the hell? This just goes to show you how brutal a 17-round Supercross series is. Everybody wants to get all giddy about a one main event win or something like that, bro. A 17-round Supercross series is a completely different animal. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys thought. This is definitely up there, if not the craziest, most bizarre injury I have ever seen in this shit ever before. I still don't really understand what happened or went on with that. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know. It would have been different if he had done that on, like, coming up short on a finish line jump or a Supercross triple or did it in the whoops or something like that. But he just barely even messed up in that little transition of the rhythm section. That was a tricky little spot there, even on the MX Simulator Denver and the MX Bikes Denver, jumping over that little tabletop, getting over the backside of it clean without over jumping it and kind of landing into the face of the next jump. That was tricky even on MX Sim and MX Bikes. So I know it was tricky in real life. You know what I'm saying? But that's just another little coincidence, little something. I was noticing that on those MX Sim and MX Bikes tracks before they ever even ran the real life race. And then lo and behold, Tomac did that there, and the dirt was super hard packed. That didn't help anything, but even still, that just shouldn't have happened on that size of a jump with a perfectly healthy leg. There's just no way. There's no way you can ever convince me of that. I think there was something else going on, or some freak thing happened. And when you got motorcycles and machines like this, sometimes freak things like that just happen, bro. Sometimes they do, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. But the motocross god struck down for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't know. But this is gut-wrenching. This is terrible. I just feel bad for Tomac, man. It's like, who gives a shit about the championships? Like, this dude's probably not even going to be able to walk the same anymore. Hell, be able to ride a dirt bike the same anymore, or be able to race the same. I think that is the last thing on his mind right now. He's just thinking, damn, can I even walk the same anymore? He's totally done, guys. I hate to be the truth speaker on this one, but I have to be, because a lot of people are thinking he might still come back. He ain't coming back. This is it, bro. This is it for Tomac's career. It was a good one. I hate to see it end like this. I hate to see him go out like this, but I promise you, this is the end. Tomac is done.